Hey there, subscribers to Be Less Stupid. This is your host, John Hotchkiss. I'm here live at the Donald Trump rally in Phoenix, Arizona at the Memorial Coliseum. And I got to say, there's about, 12 or 15, maybe 10,000 people here. And it's now about 11 o'clock or 11:15 here in Phoenix. And the event doesn't start until 7 p.m. They start letting people into the arena at around 3 p.m. So I'll give you a little look around so you can see what's going on. You can see over my shoulder here. And I have to say that as Democrats, we must absolutely recognize that the president's base is fired up for his reelection. And they are doing an outstanding job of propaganda. They have a huge monitor here. Is a big TV screen like it's at a sports arena. And they are constantly running on a loop footage of the president talking about how Democrats are going to make America socialist, how Democrats will take away your guns, how Democrats will make you poor and that they'll ruin the economy. Yeah. So you got to know that these guys are running a well-oiled machine, and that is important information for Democrats to understand, that these guys are fired up. Look, many of these people, I stayed last night, about 400 people slept outside. Look at that, we're back. Hopefully this thing's working out. So, as I was saying, there's about, maybe 10 or 12,000 people here. I see that some of you have commented. Here's the problem that I'm having, is that it's so bright, the sun, I can't see the comments on the screen. The glare is very bad. And so I'll make myself available later, and you can ask questions when I find a place that's going to be a little more shady. I just thought it was important now for people to see. I don't know, maybe, yeah. And so you can see how many people are here. It's really quite a mob scene. And I know that this evening is another one of those, one of our Democratic debates. And I'll tell you, these Republicans and the Trump supporters, they are determined to paint Democrats as socialists who are going to bankrupt the country like Venezuela. And we have to be 100% on our game to make sure that we have an ability to fight back against that. And I don't know what that is. I just know that it's a thing that the president is doing. And he's determined to convince his base that the Democrats want open borders, that the Democrats want to take away people's guns. And that information runs on a loop on a giant screen. If you can see it over my shoulder, let's see. Yeah, there, you can see it over my right shoulder. There's a big giant screen, and it runs on a loop of people, the president's children, the president himself, all talking about how what wonderful things they've done for African Americans, about what wonderful things they've done for the Latin American community. And that information runs on a loop. And I've spoken now to many dozens of people, and I'll tell you the thing that one of the things that I learned today, which is that people are exceptionally uninformed about issues that we are paying attention to, and they are not, right? For example, almost everyone I spoke to, nobody knew that the president had cheated a charity for United States veterans. They all went, we don't know about that. I explained to them that the president settled a lawsuit for $25 million against people who sued about Trump University. And almost nobody here had heard of that. And there are a lot. None of them have the president's power to investigate crime or corruption or nonsense, and that if the president does it anywhere around the world, it's totally fine. And I see that a couple of you have commented. Please forgive me. I'm in a spot where it's very bright, and so I can't see because of the glare. And again, I'm outside the Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona. And although the people of Arizona did, in fact, elect a Democratic senator, Kristen Sinema, during the midterms, right? Their other senator, I believe, is up, and the president is here, of course, to support that candidate. And so there's one thing that people on the left have considered, that it's possible that Arizona, which had been traditionally a Republican stronghold, given the results of the 2016 midterm, that they could potentially flip this state to Democrat. So I was here with many of the people late into the night last night. I left here at about midnight, took a little nap back at the hotel, and then came back again at 6 o'clock this morning. And I have to say, they are fired up. And so I see again that some of you are commenting, and my apologies. I'm in a spot where it's very bright, and the glare on the screen is making it impossible for me to read what you're saying. And so I'm sorry about that. I'll try to think of some more things that I could tell you. The event is supposed to start at 7 p.m., but they let people into the arena at about 3 o'clock, give or take. I know that the latest polls have Bernie Sanders leading across the nation, followed by, I don't know, I can't remember who, quite frankly. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I learned. So I would just want to sum up by saying that it was my experience today that a lot of the base here are just not aware of many of the issues that Democrats think are important. And one of the reasons that is because they are being taken advantage of and lied to by the media who they rely on. There's a principle in psychology about how people who you don't, for example, know how a toilet works, but you're aware of people who do. So you call the plumber, and the plumber helps you fix your toilet. They've chosen as their expert in terms of politics people like Sean Hannity and the right-wing media groups. And those groups are taking advantage of their base and their supporters by not giving them all of the information. And so many of these voters are relying on experts who are disingenuous. And that's a huge problem. And it's part of the reason why there's such a divide, why two people can hear about some information and one can go X and the other goes Y, and they both are stamping their feet about it. Hey, I see that there are comments on the screen, and please forgive me, there's a glare on the screen, and I won't be able to see those comments until I broadcast from inside the arena, which will be in a couple of hours, so I'll come back. So anyway, if you've tuned into this event, thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Go to my website and get yourself a Be Less Stupid t-shirt. That helps support the work that I do. For example, coming to the Trump rally here in Phoenix as an example. All right, you can do that at my website. That's belessstupid.com. You click, I don't know, you click shop in the menu. All right. So look, hey, I see comments. I love it. But the glare on the screen has made it so that I am unable to read them. My apologies. When I report from inside later, I will see your comments and I'll try to answer those questions. So until then, this is John Hotchkiss, the host of Be Less Stupid, and I'm at the Donald Trump rally in Phoenix, Arizona at the Memorial Coliseum. Thanks all of you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting my work. And between all of us working together, we must defeat this motherfucker. And we must do it. All right, so look, I'm going to come back in a little bit and I'll update you with some more information that I gather. And I see, again, please forgive me, I see that you're making comments, and that's great. I would like to answer your questions, but the glare on the screen from the sun is making it impossible. All right, I'm going to take off, and I'll come back in just a bit. Bye-bye. First, I got to figure out how to turn this thing off.